For those of you who do not know Dan, he is a marketer. He's been doing marketing for 10 years and has gotten exceedingly good at helping businesses see outsized returns in what they do. And that's all of what he does. So, Dan, take it away.
Thank you, Brian, very much. Thank you for having me. First time speaking at WordCamp. I've been to WordCamp GR a couple times, but years ago. And I don't think, and this isn't lip service, I've spoken at many events and put on events, and I've got to say what these organizers have done at making us feel welcome with all the information about where to park and what to do was freaking amazing. I'm not using the real F word because of some code of conduct thing. Something might slip later by accident, but give them a real big round of applause because it was just freaking amazing. So I'm Dan Digler, like Brian was saying. I have been a marketing consultant for over 10 years, and with that came doing websites, mostly because of what I'm going to talk about today. When I gave the description for this talk, it said a lot about analytics. I'm sorry, this wasn't supposed to be a bait and switch, but I had two really important things happen between submitting this event and coming here today. I had a couple prospective meetings, and those prospects came to me and said, hey, I need a new website. Who's had that or who's thought that? Who here's a business owner? Okay. And then who here actually develops and builds websites for their clients? Okay. So maybe you've been on one side or the other where you're just like, hey, I think my website's old, I need a new one. I told him, okay, we can talk. That's great. I want money. You want a new site. Wonderful. But are you trying to grow? He said, no. Okay, are you not hitting your sales goals? He said, no, I'm hitting all my sales goals. Okay, can you tell I'm getting really confused here? Like, what's going on? We were talking about ethics earlier. So third, I then said, is there some other aspect of the business you're trying to improve on? And he goes, no. I'm like, what the hell are you trying to change your website for? Okay, and he goes, oh, well, everybody in the industry is doing it. I think they're jumping off bridges too. So I didn't end up working with them because they didn't quite understand that websites are a tool. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. The one thing all successful websites do. And I really like engagement. I like case studies. I'm going to go so over time. I'm going to be so rushed at the end here, guys. So websites have a reason for existing, and so I really want to ask the room, which of these two sites performs better? Now I know they're just web pages, okay? Who here thinks the left side performs well? Okay, why?
More visual.
More visual, cool. Why?
I was going to say visually easier to follow it.
In the back? Somebody had a hand up. Why do you think the left one?
I liked it.
You liked it, thought it was aesthetically pleasing. Who here thinks the right one performed better? One, Brian. Okay, maybe that was the pity vote. Why?
Very quick to scan. Just start at the top, work your way down.
Okay. What are we missing? I've kind of led you in the wrong direction. What's the first question we should be asking, actually?
What's the purpose?
What's the purpose? Exactly. What are we actually measuring? So many times I have been in meetings with clients or even with designers because sometimes we don't do the project, it's beyond us. And somebody comes to me and says, oh man, I got this brand new feature. I've got this cool new little thing where it wiggles when you go over it. And I'm just like, okay, does that increase sales? Some client goes, like in this meeting I just had, they go, hey, man, everybody in my industry is putting up splashy websites with huge graphics and background videos and everything. Okay, do you want to be like everybody else? Why? What are you trying to accomplish with that? Does it actually improve what you're trying to work on? So the first question is what are we measuring? And it always takes me back to when I first started, actually jumping into design, is that website design is about understanding. It's not art. Our clients, our customers don't want to have to interpret what's going on the website, okay? They want to easily find what they have to do, easily understand what's happening. And as designers, as developers, we get really into, even as marketers like me, oh my God, I love jumping on the next new big thing. I love it, okay? Programmatic, let's go. Let's spend thousands in advertising. Let's do it. Man, mom and pop shop on Main Street, they ain't got bang for that. Okay, so it's really understanding what's happening, what's going on. Mom and pop shop doesn't have the money to do the flashy video, to do the video thing behind the website in the header in the background. It's a waste of 10 grand for them. Okay, so really understanding that as business owners, who here wants their client to easily spend their money with you? Yeah, who wants them to easily say, I want to work with you. I want to spend $300 a month just to update my website. Okay? We want our customers to do that easily. We don't want them to worry about, does this website scroll left and right, or does it go up and down? Okay? Like, no offense, I think it's awesome. It'll totally work. Okay? Don't take anything away from trying to innovate on what you do. Okay? It's just understand that there are conventions, there are things that work and things that don't. So now that you know that we got to think about goals, the goal is ticket sales. This is an outdoor air show event. Okay, now that we've talked about all that, you've thought a little bit. It's a family event. It's outdoors. Which one do you think performed better? Who still thinks the left one performed well? Come on, put them up high, put them up high. Okay, like a third of the room. Who thinks the right side performed better? Man, we still got like half the room not voting. Left side prices, big, everything. Would you be surprised to learn that it was the right side? Old school, huge blocks of text, cheesy credit card icons under a button with arrows pointing that says click here? What?
It's emotions. You pull the emotions in with the pictures of the families.
Emotions, you're getting, yeah, that's part of it. That's definitely part of it. This site performed over 2 times better and in the end sold over $1 million in ticket sales. This page alone. Why? Families are going to this event. I got kids. I got a whole brood. Maybe I got multiple families worth of kids in one minivan. I gotta know where's parking. Is it miles away? Is it a block away? If it rains, this is outdoors. Do I have something for my kids to do? It's all put on this page. Every ticket version, everything included, everything you could do with your kid. People spent over 12 minutes on this page. The other one, less than 2 minutes. I mean, there's more info, rightly so. But it spoke to the mothers and the fathers, the parents, the aunts, the grandparents, not understanding where everything's at the event. So really understanding the target audience and knowing that the client wants to make some money. This one looks great, I'm not gonna lie. Looks wonderful. Man, that one just makes so much more money. Now, can you do it? Can you make a site that still looks pretty and actually performs? So here's another quick case study. I have no idea how much time I got.
You're good.
Wonderful. I guess I'm going faster than I thought. I'm nervous, I'm jacked. 2 sites here, Comedy Club in Kalamazoo, Crawl Space Comedy Theater. Anybody heard of it? Okay, you. It's cool. You guys live up here. I don't know how you guys have your own comedy clubs, but new comedy club last year. One of these is the current site. One of these is the old one. If you guys do a quick search, you'll be able to tell which one's up right now. But which one do you think performed better? Who thinks the left one? Who thinks the right one? Maybe I tricked some of you because it's actually the one that looks a little prettier. Reason being, the other site had no events listed on it. Widgets were broken more than half the time. The other site had a static photo at the top, didn't give a call to action, didn't tell people what to do, what's next. This one does. We know this audience only buys tickets the week of an event for the most part, so they want to see the most recent events, what's available immediately. We put those for them right there in that event block below that header. That header shows what are the most recent and upcoming big events in a big splashy way, helping to get them through this site faster to what they want to get to. In the end, 122% revenue increase year over year, over 800% ROI. Okay? Really understanding the goals of your client, really understanding your target audience is what makes great websites. So, summing up, websites are not art. I'm really sorry. They can be pretty, they can be beautiful. They're not art. They are tools that help our clients reach their goals. I'm gonna really offend some designers and artists in the room. I know that, I do it every time. And it's not out of hatred, it is out of love. I love exactly what you do, but I want my clients to succeed so much more than I want to win awards. Because when they succeed, I get referrals. When they succeed, I get more clients. When they succeed, they spend more with me. When they succeed, They are the happiest people in the world. And I'm so happy for them. Nobody's got time. Nobody's got time to mess around. So thank you very much. For those of you who are here for analytics, I don't want to leave you empty-handed. I did a 3-hour masterclass at Kalamazoo Social Media Week just a couple months ago. I'm giving that to you for free right there. Take a photo here. There's a 12-page packet that's a workbook. You get all the slides, access to the 2-hour video. It talks about how to track these results that I have been showing, how to A/B test, how to inject data into your marketing as well. So that's for you. If you guys really want some of the sources, there they are. There was no real info in the slides, so you're not getting these. All right, questions?
Yeah, we have like 4 minutes for questions. That was awesome.
And it is totally cool if there are any.
Yeah. Questions? Right here. I saw you first.
I understand about the one with the ticket sales. But if I was just going on to a website, I don't care if it's pretty. I want to know if I can afford to buy those tickets and that had prices all over that page.
The other one had prices too. You just couldn't. It was so much text and timing.
I thought,
Yeah.
well, they really needed to be a mix of both pages because
Sure.
one was pretty and one was really boring.
Yeah. Now, my wife, the designer, said, I'm probably going to get something about that one looks pretty. And there is a way to do it. The point is could that other pretty one that had certain things really up bold, that was nice and visual and wide and airy, could it have also given more information about each ticket, what to expect the event, and then have performed just as well? The answer is most likely. Okay.
You, next, all right.
So, if I'm right, then the title of this was all successful websites do this one thing. What's the one thing?
What is the one thing? What's the one thing? What did I talk about? What's the one thing? What's the one thing?
Websites help clients reach their goals.
Help their clients reach their goals.
Awesome. Next. Love it. All the questions at the front.
So I've been reading a lot of visual, I'm sorry, my English is not good, but visual hierarchy?
No problema.
Okay. So I, sometimes there are people that tell you, oh, I want 10,000 words, like somebody else on the website. And I've been reading about the F design and the Z design. What do you have to say about that?
Test.
Test. But in terms
Build
of,
the one you know works, test from there.
Okay.
Or understand where can you test those two different designs on something you currently have going on to learn what works and what doesn't.
for like heavy text.
Anything.
Okay.
I'm going to say every situation is different. You saw 2 different websites, very big, and I'm saying that even in that first example, that and I'm going to call it well-designed one, actually could have performed as well, just was lacking some of that info. So what I'm going to say is these design elements that you're talking about most likely can work in some application in some way. It's finding out how. It's not just jumping all in and putting all the client's money in that one thing, and then if it busts, then what?
Right, okay. Thank you.
Next. Anybody? We got time, I think, for one more. Somebody's got one. Right here.
I work in a very specific niche market, grand pianos, so it's very upscale. I have the reputation, Music Trade magazine once called me the piano sales guru of the US. Everybody comes to me. And what happens is I run across clients who are trying to not necessarily challenge me, but they want to introduce something into what I feel is the formula that works. And for instance, the big one is because, well, it's a music site, why don't we have music on it? And so, my web development sense says, no, you don't want to do that. First of all, yeah, I get it because Mozart concerto is fine, but it's not going to reproduce the way that you want it to reproduce on a website. Is there any way that you would handle a situation like that specifically, where somebody's challenging what you think really works and is tried and true method?
Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm slightly polarizing. I'm bombastic. So my first thought is, Did they hire a web designer, or did they hire someone to just do work for them? They hired an expert, you know, that's my first thought, so, but that's a whole other thing. Some clients you can't really entirely convince. This is where I go back to test. This is where I can go back to test. It's like, you know what? Okay, you want the music on the site, that's great. That's great. Let's test that, let's see. Does it keep people, what are gonna be the things that we test to see whether the music actually adds value to your brand? Okay, we put the music on, what do you expect to happen? As a business owner, what do you expect to happen? Oh, I expect people to be on it longer. Okay, great, so time on page, or time on site. All right, but in the end, I mean, don't you want to like contact you? It's like, yeah. Okay, let's see, does it improve contacts? If there's no change whatsoever on anything, let them have the freaking music. Charge them a couple grand to put the music in there. If it changes nothing. I mean, are you trying to win awards and the music's gonna hold you back? Or is it that, you know, you want the client to be happy because it makes them do better work? If it has no change on anything, whatever. I mean, again, I'm polarizing. There's some people in the room that are like, you are way off base. I'm like, okay, maybe I am. Maybe I am. That's why I say test it.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, that is it for time. If you have more questions, find Dan out somewhere else. We're gonna get the room turned over. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Brian.